somewhere from you, maybe.
With over 34 combined state-of-the-art equipment bays, you'll be on your way in a jiffy. Ocean Area Tires, featuring a kid-friendly play area, towing, and courtesy shuttle. They're open 7 days a week in Ocean View, Ocean Pines, and next to Harris Teeter, Millsboro.
Hi, I'm Christina Lassard with Lassard Builders. If you are looking for a new home, one of your biggest challenges is trying to force your family's current and future needs into a specific home plan. At Lassard Builders, our goal is to build a true custom home where you can make changes or add features to one of our plans, or we'll help you design your own. Whether downsizing or expanding, work hand in hand with my father and third-generation builder to build the home that suits your family's current and future needs. Stop by our model home in the East Villages of 5 Points or online at lazardbuilders.com.
Keeping it local is important to third-generation builder Brian Lassard and the Lassard Builders team. They are loyal to local contractors, businesses, and continually give back by volunteering and serving on nonprofit boards. They have a new blog called Live Delaware, dedicated to supporting locally owned and operated organizations. Join in by going to LassardBuilders.com and clicking on the Live Delaware tab. Live Delaware is just a reminder to keep it local in the nation's small wonder.
Check. Can you hear me? Fran, check.
Hi, this is Delaware Governor Jack Markell. Small Business Saturday was created years ago to recognize how important small local businesses are to our country.
Good morning.
They help define our towns and employ hundreds of thousands of our neighbors.
Good morning.
The Small Business Alliance of the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce and Delmarva Broadcasting have introduced Small Business Saturday, first Saturday of every month. Please join me in shopping locally on the first Saturday each month. Your support strengthens our state and is much appreciated.
Check 1.
To be fast and furious, you need maximum performance.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For maximum performance, you need to be titanium strong. And to be titanium strong, buy Castrol Edge motor oil with fluid titanium. And get tickets to see Furious 7, rated PG-13 in theaters April 3rd. Castrol Edge, the official motor oil of Furious 7. Castrol, it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
Would you wait several days for your shower to get hot? Would you wait several days to feel the full effect of relief from your nasal congestion? Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray could take that long. But if you're congested now and you want powerful relief now, use Afrin No Drip. Afrin starts working in seconds and keeps working for 12 hours. So why wait several days to feel the full effect? When you can start to get relief in seconds with Afrin. Afrin, powerful congestion relief without the wait. Use as directed.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Introducing a new day of the week. It's called Someday. Now, everything you were going to do someday is on the calendar. Want to retire someday? You'll want a My Social Security account to help you get ready. Get yours at socialsecurity.gov.
Let's see, on the team we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third. You the manager? Yes. You know the guy's name? I should. Well, then tell me the guy's name. I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third. You the manager? Yes. You know the guy's name? I'm telling you their name. Well, who's on first? Yeah. Well, go ahead and tell me. Who? The guy on first. Who? The guy playing first base. Who?
Good morning and welcome back to Slower Lower. I'm Norm Short. Fran the Man is in the house, and we were talking a little Phillies baseball during the break there. And,
no, we weren't.
Well, we are going to. There isn't much to say about the Phillies this year. If you'd like to join the conversation, 839-1059, you just got a few moments to chime in.
They are picked to be last.
Yes. Overwhelmingly last. It's not even something that's a close thing last. It's a shame. But I will say this about the Phillies. We're getting more stuff. What is all that background information? Hear that? I hear voices. There we go. Okay. We're good to go now. 839-1059, 839-1059. If nothing else, my hearing's not lost. There we go. Oh, today, Fran, is International Day for Landmine Awareness and Assistance.
All right.
And I'm guessing if you're not aware of a landmine, you probably need assistance. I don't know where they come up with these days. Why don't they have a Fran and Norm Day? I mean, that would make as much sense as that. The International Day for Landmine Awareness and Assistance. There we go. Let's see what else. Oh, birthdays today. Well, nobody special has a birthday today. Craig T. Nelson. There's your trivia question. How old's he and who was he? Remember him?
Coach.
Coach, yes. 71 today. There we go. You just passed the trivia question. You got the rabbit ears thing right. You're 2 for 2 so far. All right. Well, let's see. Monday is Tartan Day, as long as they name the days. I don't know what that means. Do you?
Tartan?
Tartan Day, yes.
Something Scottish?
It's, you know what? It's one of the things that we're just going to have to look it up. We'll cover it next Saturday.
All right, yeah,
We'll cover Tartan Day next Saturday and why Monday, April 6th, is Tartan Day. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be in the book somewhere. So I'll ask my telephone. It seems to know all. Let's see. Tuesday's World Health Day. That's a good. Oh, and then Wednesday's day is a DAB Day. DAB, capital 3 letters, DAB. It's Draw a Bird Day. That's right. You know, you cannot make this stuff up because I've tried, and it just can't do it.
I know I can make a mean hand turkey.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So Wednesday you should celebrate by doing that.
All right.
In World Draw a Bird Day.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm going to tell you how I draw a bird.
That's
okay. Barbershop Quartet Day is next Saturday.
I like that.
So you, me, Mark, all we need is a fourth, and we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So next Saturday we'll be doing a little Barbershop Quartet in here. You don't want to miss that. Well, actually, probably do, but anyway.
I'll be wearing my red and white shirt.
Sure, bow tie and a little funny little hat. Yes, that you can't find anywhere. Yes, 839-1059, 839-1059. Oh, my goodness. And here's another birthday coming up. How old do you think Wayne Newton is?
close to 80.
73. It's a lot younger than I would have guessed, too, I'll tell you. He's certainly lived a full and prosperous
Mr.
life.
Las Vegas.
Yes, indeed. He made a career out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad gig at all.
All the chicks dig him.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, and the Google. I had my Google top 5 searches finally. I don't know where it comes from, but I get a lot of emails. Now all of a sudden I'm back on the good list. And the top 5 things on Google this week, Trevor Noah. You familiar with him?
No.
Okay, he's the guy who's replacing Jon Stewart. That one I knew. April Fool's Day was one of the top 5 searches. We're familiar with that. And if you happen to catch Dana McDonald on our sister station, Cool 101.3, he told the people in Milford that the Armory was becoming an adult entertainment place. And it's not true, people. It's not true. But that was his April Fool's Day joke. And I'm telling you what, the phones lit up, and one guy went on. He was the city manager or city planner or something for like 10 years, and he was reading the riot act of why you couldn't do this on air. And Dana, he's going, And finally, when he got done, he said, let me tell you one thing about it, sir. Said the whole thing is a hoax. I made it all up. It's April Fool's. And you hear the guy go, okay. He said, man, you got me good. And he did get him good. That is an absolute fact. That was hilarious. So Dana had a great bit on Cool 101.3 on April Fool's Day. Let's see, Easter and Passover was one of the top 5 searches for this week.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Let's see, Google's top. I think that's about 4 of them, and I probably didn't think the other one was worthy of writing down. But there you go. That's what people were looking for. So if you were interested in that last week, you were on the same curve as millions of other people who were going to Google for the answers. You don't have to climb to the mountaintop anymore. Just contact Google. That was their top 5 hot searches. California wine. I know you're a wine aficionado. The drought in California we talked about, that it's good for the grapes.
It is.
So that is one of the only positive as far as I can see. But the fact that we're paying more for vegetables on account of that, not so much.
Any kind of a sweet fruit or anything, the less water you have, the sweeter it gets, like peaches and plums and things like that.
And, of course, the grapes. Vineyards, absolutely.
Raisins.
Yeah. Soon to be raisins, yes. Hey, there we go. There's our music, friend. Mark Fowler's in the house. He'll have the news in just a moment. I'm Norm Short. This has been Fran DeMann joining me this morning for the last few minutes, and thank you for listening in. Jim Weller's up next. He'll be in
Dover
at the mayor's house. That's right. Mayor's office, mayor's house, whatever. Anyway, the mayor's home. Jim will be there. So stay tuned. Here on Delaware 105.9.
Local news first on Delaware 105.9.
Thank you, Norman and Fran. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 6:59, and a good Saturday morning to you from the Weather Center. Meteorologist Brian Thompson says a few more showers, mainly early this morning. We'll see some sun later, but it will be windy and cool, the high of 55. Sarah Brady is being remembered for her tireless efforts in support of gun control, which helped lead to the Brady Bill that restricted the sale of handguns to fugitives, convicted felons, and others deemed a threat. Sarah Brady died yesterday at the age of 73, months after her husband James Brady, who was shot in the head during the 1981 assassination attempt on President Reagan, also died. Dan Gross is president of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence.
Sarah had a fiery personality and, never hesitated to confront politicians who were putting the interests of the corporate gun lobby ahead of the safety of the American people.
James and Sarah Brady made the Delaware beaches their home for a number of years. From the first town in the first state, this is WXDE Lewis.
Delaware 105.9.
It's 7 o'clock.
CBS News, I'm Steve Dorsey. Record rain in Louisville.
For about 3 or 4 hours, the sun came out, and then some of the water started receding, and then it started raining again. So, and I think we're supposed to get another storm, so it's not looking good for those folks. Some of them who were just kind of drying out may get hit with the same thing again.
WLKY TV reporter Steve Burgeon, more than 160 rescues have been reported in Louisville. Other parts of the South have also had severe weather, including reports of tornadoes. In Iraq, state forces and Shiite militias have recaptured Tikrit from ISIS after a prolonged battle there. The city, Saddam Hussein's hometown, is some 80 miles north of Baghdad. And a new warning from the group claiming responsibility for the attack at a Kenya university. that killed nearly 150 people.
Al-Shabaab says it carried out the attack at Kenya's Garissa University and vows more deadly raids in the African country. In a statement, the Al-Qaeda-linked Somali group says no precautions will prevent another bloodbath. The message, directed at the Kenyan public, threatens a long and gruesome war, with Kenyan cities running red with blood. Kenya made a number of arrests after Friday's deadly attack. Larry Miller, CBS News, London.
In his weekly address, President Obama is defending the framework of an agreement to limit Iran's nuclear capabilities and prevent it from building an atomic bomb.
This framework is the result of tough, principled diplomacy. It's a good deal, a deal that meets our core objectives, including strict limitations on Iran's program and cutting off every pathway that Iran could take to develop a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, in this weekend's Republican response, there's talk of beefing up the nation's cybersecurity. Senator Richard Burr chairs the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence.
This threat is real, and the increasing number of attacks has a tangible impact on our economy and our national security.
Burr says the Bipartisan Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act of 2015 will make swapping information about cyber attacks more uniform.
How sorry I am that we are here today because of a stupid, inappropriate, and shameful thing my son did.
That man's son now faces 20 years in prison for running a revenge porn site. Kevin Ballard required victims to pay to remove nude photos. And a convenient game for Kentucky in today's men's NCAA basketball Final Four in Indianapolis.
This will certainly not be a home game for Kentucky, but Lexington is only around a 3-hour drive from Indianapolis, and there will be thousands and thousands and thousands of Wildcat fans who will make that drive to be here for today's game against Wisconsin.
CBS's Steve Futterman reporting from Indianapolis, and another typhoon is taking aim at the Philippines. This is CBS News.
For more than a century, the same question has been asked. Who left the lights on? Who? You? It has been shouted by aggravated parents since the invention of the light bulb. But with the Lutron Maestro occupancy sensing switch, which turns on the lights when you enter a room and off when you leave, this question will never be asked again. Learn more at LutronSensors.com. Save more. Shout less.
Available from your local home center, lighting showroom, or electrical professional.
If you have Medicare Part D, Walgreens can put you at the corner of switching your prescriptions and saving some money. That's because Walgreens makes it easy to switch and save with copays as low as $0 on select Medicare Part D plans. Just bring us your prescriptions and we'll do the rest. Switch to save even more today. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Applies to Tier 1 generics for select plans.
Delaware 105.9 News Time 7:04. Good morning. Maryland has opened a 30-day period of public comment on proposed regulations regarding phosphorus. The Department of Agriculture says the proposed Maryland phosphorus management tool, controversial among some in the farming community, were published in the Maryland Register yesterday. The goal is to set up a multi-year process for farmers to make adjustments. You can read the proposed regulations in their entirety at Delaware1059.com, and comments being accepted in Maryland until May 4th. Delaware State Police investigate the death of a man after a pursuit of a vehicle near Bridgeville last night. An off-duty trooper spotted a vehicle which matched the description of one used by a suspect in a Milford bank robbery on Thursday. The officer first saw the vehicle traveling on Hickman Road. Later it was seen in Bethel, and then it was followed some distance onto Route 404, where Bridgeville police deployed stop sticks to deflate the tires. Now, a gunshot was heard at that point as the car came to a controlled stop between Oak Road and San Filippo Road, and a 35-year-old male passenger was found dead inside the car, apparently with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The car was being driven by a 31-year-old Greenwood woman who was taken into custody, but no charges against her have been filed as of yet, and state police and Milford police are continuing their investigation. Residents of Wicomico County are being warned of a scam. According to the sheriff's office, folks have been receiving calls from supposed Internal Revenue Service employees, and they were told they were in arrears on their federal income taxes. And if immediate payment was not made, the sheriff of Wicomico County will be on the way to arrest them. The sheriff's office says it has no role in tax debts, and the IRS does not initiate contact in such a way either. If you think you might have been the victim of such a scam, you are asked to call the Wicomico County Sheriff's Office. It's 7:06 on Delaware 105.9. And a quick check of sports. Exhibition baseball is drawing to a close. The Phillies are back home in Philadelphia. Last night they took on the Pirates and won by a score of 7-5. Orioles over the Braves by a score of 3-2 last night. And the Nationals defeated the Yankees by a score of 8-2. As you just heard, it's the men's basketball Final Four getting underway this evening. Tiger Woods, meanwhile, confirms he will compete at Augusta in the Masters next week. And from the Weather Center, we've got showers today, early on at least. Possible sunshine later on, windy and cool, the high 55, low tonight 37. And tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy with a high of 58. I'm Mark Fauser, Delaware 105.9 News. Weller Does Delmarva is next on Delaware 105.9.
The following program is a paid commercial presentation. The comments, views, and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or advertisers of Delaware 105.9.
Okay, good morning. We are live. You're listening to Jim Weller. We're right here sitting inside of the mayor's office in Dover, and Mayor Robin Christensen is joining us. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Mr. Weller.
How are you?
Fine, sir.
I appreciate you getting up so early, putting the sidewalks out, and making it so accommodating for us to get in here and get to Dover.
Well, this wasn't really too early for me to get up because usually on Saturday mornings I ride around and do a street light check, the ones that are out, and make a list to give to the city manager on Monday morning. So,
are you kidding, or you really do that?
No, I really do that.
No kidding. I bet he's happy with that.
Well, he's, it keeps us, keeps the citizens,
keeps the lights on.
Keeps the lights on. The citizens are happy, and one particular one I noticed as I was leaving my house this morning, it was directly across the street from my house. So,
you want that one fixed by noon Monday?
I need to get that one fixed so my wife won't be hollering at me.
Wow. Now, did you do that before you were mayor?
When I was on city council 13 years ago, I used to ride around as a city councilman and check on everything. Francis Wyan, who was a longtime city councilman, told me when I came on board that was our job to do, go around and make sure trash was picked up and street lights were taken care of and street signals. So it's just part of the task.
I had no idea that councilmen worldwide did that. Or statewide.
Well, I don't know if they do it statewide, but here in Dover, quite a few of us as councilman and as mayor.
My goodness. Wow, I appreciate that. You must have been a teenager when you started.
I was 32 years old when I was elected to council the first time. Didn't expect to be elected. And was retired by popular demand in 2001. And then 13 years later,
came back.
And here I'm sitting as mayor. So.
There you go. Wow. Well, I appreciate your commitment to public service and desire to serve and help the community. So,
well, I love the city of Dover, Jim, and the state of Delaware. And since I was a small child, I used to come here when my family lived in Pennsylvania. My grandparents had a farm outside of town. I came here in the summers as their indentured servant, and then we moved here when I was 11 or 12, and been here ever since. My ancestors.
Whose indentured servant were you?
My grandmother and grandfather.
Okay.
And my ancestors have lived in and around Dover before Dover was even a Dover.
So golly day. Well, thank you.
Attached to the dirt, so to
I can see that. Well, thank you. All right, I'm going to hit just a couple quick commercials, and then we're going to talk to our first guest. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so folks, you are listening to Jim Weller. Weller Does Delmarva. We are live. I've got Colin Walls here with me this morning. I've got Brooks Ritter with me. We all got up early and made the drive to Dover, and you can also watch it at two different places today. So that's like in stereo. You can watch it at Weller Does Delmarva. So you can watch us right now. We're sitting here at the mayor's office. And you can also watch it at Catch It Live. And we're going to talk a little bit about all the things Catch It Live has to offer here later on during the morning. But I wanted to also first thank one of my sponsors right off the bat, No Nonsense Office Machines. He's my copier guy, Rick Fowler. I've been dealing with him for 20 plus years. So we were both teenagers when we started. And that's an easy statement. We were both teenagers when we started. Everybody was a teenager at some point. But No Nonsense Office Machines has laptops, tablets, computers, fax machines. They sell printers, and of course they sell copiers. They service whatever they sell. They have new, they have used. They offer maintenance agreements, and they can help you in any way, shape, or form. If you've got a computer and you're not over computer savvy, it's okay. If you can just get in your car and get to their building, they can walk you through things. They can help guide you through some of the things. If it's a little slow or too fast, they can help you with all that. They can clean it out, clean it up, and guide you through things. They talk in a language that even I can understand. They talk in Sussex County language. So many people that work on computers and things like that, they talk in a way that I heard you, but I didn't understand a thing you said. They talk to their customers. They make sure their customers understand them. So whether you need a copy or whether you need something serviced, whether you need any advice on something, whether you want to buy something, really good people. Rick Fowler and his team, they do a great job. They're located right outside of Georgetown on Route 9, 2 miles east of the Circle, right next to Sports at the Beach Complex, okay? So give them a call, 856-7381, 856-7381. Another one of my good sponsors I want to mention is my friend Bill Strickland, who owns L&W Insurance Agency. He's been my insurance agent for years, 25 or better years. They sell auto, home, health, life, and commercial, and I have all of that with him. So do my children and many of my friends. They're a great place to deal. They've been serving Delaware for over 60 years. Very friendly, very helpful. They know their stuff. If you want to deal with somebody, you want to see them in person, you want to double check the things you have, make sure you're adequately covered, because there's nothing worse than getting a really good deal online on something and then finding out when you need it why it was such a good deal. It's usually because something's missing, and the only person that knows it is the person online. The nice thing about dealing with a local agent is you can see them, you can talk to them in person, you can read their body language, and L&W is a good place to do business. So their phone number is 856-7828, 856-7828, and on the web, it's lwinsurance.com. Now, we're going to move into one of our guests here this morning, and I'm going to let the mayor introduce your guest. How about that?
Thanks, Mr. Weller. Before we move into there, you mentioned Bill Strickland, and he is a great friend to Kent County.
Is he?
And he has accomplished, as a member of the Greater Kent Committee, getting that sports complex down at Frederick.
That thing is coming along.
And they will be breaking ground in the fall, and it's going to go into operation in 2016, and Bill Strickland has led the charge.
Has he really?
And he is a great guy.
He is a great guy. I love dealing with him.
And speaking of other great guys, I'm pleased to introduce Mr. Bill Farley, and he is my chairman of the committee who took up the lead on our mayor's challenge to end veterans homelessness, and he is a real bulldog, Jim. He is a man who has much on his plate. And I went to him and I said, you're a leader. He was my daughter's principal in school at Holy Cross many years ago. And I said, this is what I'm looking for. Can you help me? And he stepped to the plate, Jim, and he's a great guy. So,
all right. Well,
this is
welcome,
Mr. Bill Farley.
Welcome to Weller Does Delmarva.
Good morning, Mr. Weller.
How are you today?
Good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You've embarrassed me again.
So you were the principal at Holy Cross?
As intended.
I had a sister went there, Mary Alice Weller.
When was that?
I can't remember.
It might have been before my time.
Okay. But anyway, my mom, Margaret Weller, used to run Catholic Social Services. In other words, actually, she started the one right over, I think it's a road or two over or so years ago. But anyway, well, welcome to the show. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're involved in and what you'd like to share with people?
Well, Mayor knows that I'm the Vice Chairman of the Delaware Commission of Veterans Affairs.
Okay.
So last October, he called me and asked me to come to a meeting about veterans homelessness. And little did I know that what he was doing was forming a working group, and he ended up asking me to be the chair for that working group to attack the problem.
Okay. He was presenting you with an opportunity.
That's right. And since that time, we've made a lot of progress because an awful lot of people, when they hear about what we're doing, just come out of the woodwork and want to help.
Okay.
Now, the mayor's challenge to end homelessness is actually a program that was begun by the VA and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and it's a nationwide program. But Mayor Christensen is one of the few mayors in Delaware to take that challenge.
Oh, okay.
And since that time, we have become the template, if you will, for a statewide program that is in the process of being
so this is groundbreaking.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Now, mainly what the program is about is rather than let veterans try to find all these programs that are available to them on their own, and they are good programs, and there are good people managing those programs. What this program does is we try to go out and identify the veterans by name.
Okay.
Identify what they need, and then take action to first get them a place to stay.
Okay.
Then begin to help them with whatever they need to
Beyond that.
prevent them from becoming homeless again.
Okay.
And then we don't just leave it there. We're going to follow them until they're actually in a permanent home and having a stable life.
So you don't just get them there and leave them.
That's
You're
exactly
connected
right.
to them.
Because what happens right now, when we talk about homeless veterans, we're not just talking about people on the street.
Okay.
The guy you see in the Kmart parking lot at night.
Okay.
We're also talking about people who are in shelters, temporary shelters, who are about to have to move on and have no place
that
to
are
go.
just days away from
That's
being
right.
out the door.
Sure, and we're also talking about veterans who come home and end up living on their family's couch, but they have to move on. And so our idea is to identify these individuals, and again, by name, not numbers, and identify what their needs are and start working on helping them get a stable life going.
And it sounds like you also help equip them
Exactly, that's
to
the idea.
deal with life as it is now.
Sure, because there's an awful lot of programs available.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's why we can do this with veterans. Now, as we've said from the beginning, if this program works with the veterans, then we're going to try to see if we can apply it to all homeless,
Okay.
in a similar manner.
Right.
But we can work with veterans because there are programs already set for them, and we can identify those. Now,
You're just connecting the dots, it sounds like.
well, we're not only connecting the dots, but we're breaking through bureaucratic bottlenecks.
Oh.
Because what we've done now, over a period since October, of various meetings and summits and so on, is we've established now a local team
Okay.
that has on it representatives from the federal VA,
Okay.
the Housing and Urban Development Department, the Delaware State Housing Authority, the Dover Housing Authority, and most of the shelters, local shelters and charities, okay, and some of the veteran service organizations like the VFW.
Right.
Okay? And we come together now. We've been meeting every week now for the past
As a
2-3
group
weeks.
now.
Right. And what we do is we're forming a committee to identify the veterans and create a database and to identify the available housing to be able to match them up.
Mm-hmm.
And at these meetings, what we'll do is, if we identify a veteran who needs a place, and for some reason he doesn't qualify for one place, we
He
have
may
the
qualify
people,
for something
we have the
else.
people right there who can fix that.
Right.
Who can either say, well, wait a minute, he can get a change to that qualification.
So instead of bouncing him all around, get a grip on him and get him.
Exactly right.
Get
Instead
him
of
some
trying to
help.
do it by paper or by telephone, we're
Right.
doing it face to face.
Wow. Now, how would somebody get a hold of you or this organization? Is there a website or a phone number?
Well, we haven't established a website yet, but we're in
Okay.
the process of doing that. For right now, they can just call me at my
Okay.
cell phone, 242-7926.
242-7926.
Right. And,
All right.
I'll start...
and are you looking for help?
Well, what we're looking for is people to be prepared to help us. Like
Okay.
we need landlords
Okay.
who
That
will,
would.
who will step up and say that we have places available that we're willing to give
Allow-
veterans to use their vouchers that they get from the VA.
Now, the vouchers mean that landlord would get money?
That's right.
Okay. Now, I guess also if a landlord lets somebody use a place to stay and didn't get paid, I wonder if that would be considered a donation.
Well, it could be. That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
that would be another thing.
And that we'd certainly appreciate that.
Correct. So, I mean, this could go
Sure.
both ways,
Sure.
you know. So, if anybody wants to get involved in any way, shape, or form, has questions, wants to help, or think they might want to help, or not even
That's right.
sure they understand, just call you directly.
Sure.
And that number again?
Or contact the mayor.
Okay.
242-7926.
242-7926. All right,
Yep.
Bill, I'm going to say thank you for your
Okay.
commitment. I presume you were in the military?
28 years, United States Marine Corps.
Well, thank you for your service also.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe.
Thank
Semper
you.
Fi.
Semper
Semper
Fi.
Fi.
Yep. So thank you for getting up early and coming here and everything you do. This probably isn't even early to you, is it?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
I'm
Isn't
like
that-
the mayor.
Yeah, you're like the mayor. You want to get things done.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's who you give things to. When you want them done, you give them to a busy person because they know how to
Well,
get
he
them
did
done.
that.
Yeah, he did that. All right. Well, Mayor, what do you think?
Well, I'd like to mention that he is one of our super warriors in this effort. One thing that really bothered me Jim, was the fact that there are homeless veterans and their families, as well as just individual homeless veterans.
Right. It doesn't affect just one individual.
Right, and I want to mention two people who are also in the trenches, Tracy Harvey, who works for the City of Dover Planning and Inspections Office, and Maria Bynum. She is locally our rep for HUD.
Okay.
And they are in the trenches with Mr. Farley and many other people trying to get this issue taken care of. So this was a challenge that was thrown down to us. We picked up the gauntlet, and we're running with the ball heading toward a touchdown.
It sounds like you got the right people in place.
I certainly do, particularly Mr. Farley.
All right, thank you, Bill. All right,
Mr. Weller. Thank you.
Colin, I'm going to let Colin Walls come over for a minute and just talk to me. I don't think I've ever interviewed Colin before much, but no, you can stay right there, and I'll just let Colin sit right there, have a seat. And,
good morning. Am I on?
You're on. Can we take a minute and just talk about Catch It Live?
We can. Okay. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. This is Colin Walls. Mr. Walls, we call him.
Mr. Walls.
He makes me call him Sir Walls.
Okay, Sir Walls.
That's when we're not being very formal.
That's right, yeah. But anyway, let's just touch on Catch It Live if we can.
Okay.
Something really made me think about it as I came in and I saw this production truck out in the parking lot.
Right.
It made me think you just recently went to Texas and bought a production truck.
Huge production truck.
Huge production.
Big,
so you
big
can
truck.
only do huge productions with this truck?
That's right, but we can make it smaller.
Okay. So you can do any size productions. So I just want to talk about my thoughts of what Catch It Live is. In other words, you're a production company.
I'll
so if
correct
somebody,
you where it's needed.
That's the best thing to do. You always do. But anyway, so basically what you do is if an organization or a person, somebody's having a wedding, in all honesty, didn't you just do a funeral?
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't do the funeral, but
Okay,
I
your
let
equipment
I
did
let the Milford Church of God borrow my equipment
Okay, but
to do
that
it.
is
it
an
was-
example of
Exactly.
what Catch It Live can do.
Right.
In other words, and I got to thinking about the funeral part of it. You know, say a person is elderly and they pass away, and a lot of their friends are in a nursing home, and maybe they all can't get to the funeral. This is a way that you can bring a funeral actually to where somebody's at.
It is.
In other words, and you and I went down and streamed the polar bear plunge, and I think there was a meeting about a school referendum coming up or in Milford the other day that you streamed that.
I sure did.
And so what Catch It Live does, folks, it's not just for an organization or just for a business. It's for anything at all that you have going on. You could literally be having a sale, or you could be having an event, a birthday party, retirement party, anything at all that, number one, you want to capture. So the first thing they get is that it's now been recorded. The second thing they get is that it can be streamed. And the third thing they get is that it can be viewed later online.
Wow, I don't know what to say. You said it all.
So how in the world, if somebody's interested at all, how do they get a hold of you?
The best way is just to call my cell phone, 302
Okay. Do you want to give your cell phone number out on the air?
242 8015. I'm going to give that
8015
number.
is the way I say it. 242-8015.
Right, you can dial 8015 or 8015, either one.
Should work.
It'll get you there.
Okay.
Yep.
See, I think of everything like dollar signs, $80.15. So anyway, 242-8015. But in other words, you can help somebody, because I was thinking, say a business is having an open house,
right,
or a grand opener, or a ribbon cutting ceremony. Man, they could have you stream it. And then they've got it. They could literally put that on their website, couldn't
Absolutely. They can embed it right in their website. I can give them the embed code.
How do they embed it? Like that's like they open their website and stick it in there or something?
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to explain that to you, Jim. We're going to hold off on that.
Oh, really? The show's only 2 hours long.
I'll talk to their technical people.
Oh, okay. You'll
deal
talk
with
to
their
their
website.
people.
That's
Keep
right.
me out of that.
That's right.
Keep me out of that. All right. So
We'll just bypass it.
242-8015. CatchItLive.com on the web.
CatchItLive.com is the best way to get to it. And you can go there and watch some of our videos. You know, we stream Dan Gaffney's show every
Friday morning, yeah.
Yep, so we're there live at Jimmy's Grill, and yeah, you can
Right
come
now,
in there.
it's being streamed, you know, in other words, and you have all, it's called High D.
High definition.
High D.
High D. High D. Yep, hi Jim, hi D. Hello.
All right, so it's all in high definition.
Exactly.
For people that really have a hard time defining things.
Right.
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 All right. All right. 242-8015. Is that right?
Yep.
Thanks for coming up today.
All right, thanks.
All right. So, folks, I do want to also mention that Brooks Ritter, what's your title today? Executive producer?
Yep, that would be correct.
Okay. And so what is Colin, the executive producer of Catch It Live?
Executive producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can have two executives, right?
Really?
And a
There's
fine-
enough donuts out there.
And a fine job they are doing.
They are. You ever seen so many wires?
Well,
It's almost like being in a cardiologist's office.
Well, yeah, the last time I was there, it is. But you're doing an outstanding job.
Thank you.
So anyway, so folks, you're listening to Weller Does Delmarva. It's being streamed at catchitlive.com as well as wellerdoesdelmarva.com. You can also watch the shows later. Next week, where are we going to be next week? The Dry Zone?
Dry Zone Red Barn.
This is the worldwide headquarters for Dry Zone, and we're going to have a repeat performance of the free omelets.
Awesome.
That was such a big hit.
Yes.
People were coming in and having omelets. The guy that owns it, Bill Anderson, was cooking omelets.
What time does that start again?
7 to 9. It's like a marathon, a feeding frenzy.
Might have to drive down there.
These are some of the best omelets I've ever had. I mean,
And you know what? He's
really good.
He has said that we may have free cheesesteaks in the future. Not tomorrow, or not next Saturday, but in the future. I'm thinking free cheesesteaks, free crab cakes.
This is great for your diet, Jim.
Yes, it is.
Man, you are right there.
The weight loss challenge will be over in a couple of weeks.
Right. So anyway, next Saturday we're at the Dry Zone Red Barn, and then the next Saturday we're at Kenton Sussex Industries. KSI is having their first Friends of KSI annual car show. Right. So that's going to be a big event on the 18th. So I guess we're for hire for the next one. What's the next one? The 25th, I think. So we could be hired for that one. So if somebody wants to hire us and have us do a remote from your business or organization, we're for hire. So anyway, give me a call on that. So catchitlive.com is where you can watch the show later on. You can watch us now if you want. And you can also go to Weller Does Delmarva. So we have a lot of things going on. I think the mayor has another guest going to be up in the next half an hour.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's like, man, we got them lined up here. So we got everybody up early this morning.
Lines all the way out to the street.
Right, it's all the way out to the street. So anyway,
that's because we've got good things going on in Dover.
I had no idea. Now this is really odd. I got to be honest with you. You've mentioned more than once Wellers ought to come to Dover. I actually looked at the building the other day. I hope it's in the Dover city limits. I don't know.
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Well, all I have to say to you, Mr. Weller, and anybody else that wants to come to Dover, come on down.
Come on down.
Because we're open for business to do business.
Well, I'm actually giving a minor bit of thought to it. Ever since you mentioned it, and then Colin and I actually stopped and glanced at the building the other day, and before you know it, it's going to, I don't know what we're going to do next. So
well,
we have to get somebody to pay the rent first. That's the first thing.
How are we going to get Kraft Foods to move out of there, though?
That's right.
That's what I'm wondering.
Whoa,
and you know,
whoa.
Keep them, don't we?
What if we have to walk from one side of the building to the other in a month? Okay.
Kraft has been here 50 years. We don't want to let them go.
Okay. So you're talking, you want us to be in addition to
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In addition
it was
to
an empty building we looked at.
It was an empty building. Yeah.
It was an empty building.
Okay.
So anyway, boy, we had him startled there. He actually was listening to us.
Yeah, we have to defend jobs. We don't want to lose any jobs. That's one of the mayor's challenges here in town
is to keep all the jobs and add more.
Is defend jobs and bring more. Please.
Right, just like ice cream flavors. Just keep adding more.
Yes, yes.
All right, I got it now. I have to relate everything to food. A location has to be near a restaurant. I have to relate everything that way.
That's not so bad.
That's not so bad. I agree. All right. Well, anyway, we're having a good time. We've got some other guests going to be on. So if you're listening, please stay tuned. We're going to take a break in a minute or so. It's Weller Does Delmarva. Again, if you want to hire us to be at an event or your business or something like that, we are for hire. We can come. We can broadcast live. We can promote it the week before. And we can really have some fun and do a good time and butcher things up while we're there. So anyway, we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to take a short break. Weller Does Delmarva. Stay tuned.
When things calm down. Meanwhile, back on planet Earth. You've got places to be, people to see, and not nearly enough time to get it all done. And that's if there are no surprises. That's why we're here with the news and information you need throughout your busy day. We're Delaware 1059.
There still can be a shower in a few spots early on this morning, otherwise windy and cooler today as clouds give way to sunshine, high up to 55. Clear and colder tonight on the low down to 37. For Easter Sunday tomorrow, looking pretty nice, sunny to partly cloudy, still a bit of a breeze and a high of 58. Breezy for Monday as sunshine mixes with some clouds. High Monday 64. Now meteorologist Brian Thompson in the Delaware 1059 Weather Center.
All right, Brian, thank you. And right now, cloudy skies, also a windy Saturday morning. It's 55 in Milford, 56 in Georgetown, 54 degrees in Lewis at 7:30. Good morning. I'm Mark Fauser, Delaware 1059 News. Delaware State Police continue their investigation into the death of a man following a pursuit with a vehicle near Bridgeville. Last night, an off-duty trooper spotted a car which matched the description of a car used by a suspect in a Milford bank robbery the previous day. The vehicle was followed, eventually seen in Bethel, then followed onto Route 404, where Bridgeville police deployed what are known as stop sticks to flatten the tires. But then a gunshot was heard. The car came to a controlled stop in the area between Oak Road and San Filippo Road. A 35-year-old man who was a passenger was found dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. A woman was driving and taken into custody, but no charges have been filed against her as of yet. Police and Milford Police are continuing the investigation. It's 7:31.
CBS News Update, I'm Steve Dorsey. The record rain in Louisville, Kentucky is ending, but the danger is not.
Then it's going to start clearing out, and hopefully we get some drying. And now we've got to watch the river levels that are going to be starting to rise.
That's Kentucky Emergency Management spokesman Buddy Rogers. Now to National Weather Service meteorologist Bruce Sullivan.
Officially, Louisville reported 5.64 inches, which was a record for the day. That broke the old record, which was 2.55 inches set back in 2008.
Other parts of the South also face severe weather and reports of tornadoes.
We should have limited precip across the lower 48 states today. We still have some showers across parts of the southern U.S., back across Texas to the Florida Panhandle area.
More than 160 rescues were reported in Louisville, and a mother and her child are still missing in the floodwaters. CBS News Update. I'm Steve Dorsey.
It's me, Jared Morris. Join me Wednesdays after the news at 4 o'clock when I interview Ron Farrell of Farrell Cooling and Heating. He's going to tell you about all the money you can save this winter by converting to a heat pump instead of an air conditioner. We'll talk about it Wednesdays after the news at 4.
Your Ocean Area Tire Goodyear Tire Pros and Service Network facilities in Ocean View, Ocean Pines, and next to Harris Teeter in Millsboro are now offering you the Valvoline Service Plus Limited Lifetime Guarantee. More than just an oil change, Valvoline Professional Series Services maximizes the life of your vehicle, protecting critical systems like brakes, cooling system, fuel system, power steering, and transmission. And Valvoline backs the protection with a limited lifetime guarantee with coverage up to $4,000 for each critical system as long as you stay current on the services. Ask your Ocean Area Tire pros for more details or visit ValvolineServicePlus.com. Ocean Area Tire, the largest Goodyear tire store on the shore with over 4,000 tires in stock. Check and replace worn tires now for the winter and spring driving ahead. With over 34 combined state-of-the-art equipment bays, you'll be on your way in a jiffy. Ocean Area Tires, featuring a kid-friendly play area, towing, and courtesy shuttle. They're open 7 days a week in Ocean View, Ocean Pines, and next to Harris Teeter, Millsboro. Once a week, the Dan Gaffney Morning Show goes on the road, and you're invited to join us at Jimmy's Grill on Route 13 in Bridgeville, Delaware. We have a great group of sponsors. Our Friday broadcast brought to you by Highway 1, the owners of Jimmy's Grill in Bridgeville. Also, the Rusty Rudder in Dewey Beach and Outlet Liquors Rehoboth. Weller's Utility Trailers, Route 13 in Bridgeville, Delaware. Walls Service Center, Northeast Front Street, downtown Milford. R&L Irrigation Services and owner Ricky Williams. That Granite Place, Route 13, Bridgeville, Delaware. KSI, Kent Sussex Industries. Compass Energy, they'll point you in the right direction. And Bob Wheatley of Alliance Real Estate Professionals. Always great breakfast, lunch, and dinners at Jimmy's Grill. See you this Friday on the Dan Gaffney Morning Show live at Jimmy's on Delaware 1059.
When you're backed up, call Central Backhoe. That's Central Backhoe Services. Toilet won't flush, you need to call us at Central Backhoe Services. We'll pump your septic, repair and install. When something doesn't smell right, you know who to call. Get a good flow from Central Backhoe. At Central Backhoe Services. When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
It could be a simple septic repair, or maybe something a little more complex. No matter what your situation is, Central Backhoe Services, your full-service, licensed, experienced experienced wastewater system professional can help. Contact them at 398-6420 or visit their website at centralseptic.com. Central Backhoe Services, locally owned and operated, serving Delaware's septic and excavation needs for over 20 years.
When it's a no-go, call Central Backhoe. Central Backhoe Services.
Hi, this is Delaware Governor Jack Markell. Small Business Saturday was created years ago to recognize how important small local businesses are to our country and state. They help define our towns and employ hundreds of thousands of our neighbors. The Small Business Alliance, the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce, and Delmarva Broadcasting have introduced Small Business Saturdays, the first Saturday of every month. Please join me in shopping locally on the first Saturday each month. Your support strengthens our state and is much appreciated.
The comments, views, and opinions expressed on the air at Delaware 105.9 are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and not those of staff, management, or advertisers at Delmarva Broadcasting Company. The following program is a paid commercial presentation. The comments, views, and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or advertisers of Delaware 105.9.
Okay, everybody. Man, that was a quick break. I barely had time to get my hair straight. It was like a search and rescue mission. I found my hair, and then I got it straight. One swipe of the hand. All right, you're listening to Weller Does Delmarva. We are alive. We are alive and live right here sitting in Dover, Delaware. And we're talking with Mayor Robin Christensen about all kinds of things. And I just wanted to let you know you can also watch the show at wellerdoesdelmarva.com or catchitlive.com. Next week's show, we mentioned it earlier, we're going to be giving away free omelets, and they're new. They're not old or leftover or anything like that. They're brand new omelets that we're going to be making fresh at the Dry Zone Red Barn. I had somebody wonder if they were like leftover. Like I got a deal on a truckload of omelets. It's not that. It's like these are brand new omelets that they're going to make from scratch next Saturday. I want everybody to mark their calendar or pencil it in your smartphone to join us at the Dry Zone Red Barn on Route 16 in Ellendale. So I'm going to talk to the mayor.